Hello everyone, this is Akata Vesta. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to talk about the Aries season that each year starts together with the Equinox, 19th or the 20th, and on which part of the world you are. So the Equinox for us in the Northern Hemisphere signifies the beginning of the year, the beginning of spring with flowers and sunshine. Meanwhile, in the Southern Hemisphere is the beginning of autumns that brings falling leaves and cold weather. Regardless the weather conditions, it is an important part of the year in astrological energies, Aries, which is the first sign of the wheel. It is fire, it is cardinal, and it is ruled by Mars. And if we put all these together, it gives this fiery and active, permanent character of the Aries people. So most of the time when we can see in them, they are very active, to a point that maybe even too assertive, too aggressive, and because with their cardinal energies, they tend to be also leader of a group, that they come up with new idea, and as Mars, of course, that they hardly take no for an answer. But then again, as the first sign of the wheel, it represents the I am, the self-identity. And so for them, in order to assert their personal role, actually for them, relationship is an important part that somehow, to know who we are, we confront and compare with the others. Without this comparison, this confrontation, how do we know who we are? And so as Aries, to its opposite sign, Libra, they have this interplay of finding who they are within our relationships, and Aries people, at the end of the day, as fiery as they are, they still value relationships with the other. And in this year, this Aries season is just so packed with planetary alignment. And one of the most important that we have been already talking since February is the North Node and Chiron conjunct. And the North Node has been in Aries since July last year. Meanwhile, Chiron, it is here since February 2019. So with this North Node and South Node axis between Aries and Libra, the beginning of finding our self-identities through our relationships with the others, and this conjunct with Chiron, it will be until the 8th of April. This tight conjunction between North Node and Chiron started from the 19th of February, will stay more or less the same degree within 2-degree orbs until 8th of April. That coincides with Aries solar eclipse. Later we will talk about And with this conjunction that it encouraged us to heal our karmic wounds, finding our self-identities, and preparing us together with the equinox that also signifies setting our intention for the beginning of the astrological year, because Aries is the first sign. It starts the year in our astrological year in 2024. So while we are setting our intention on the 19th of March, preparing us in this 1 week period until we reach the 25th of March, when we have our Libra lunar full moon eclipse. And I have a video, a previous video that I have talked about in details of this lunar eclipse. I will leave the link below without going into too much detail now. Just side notes that I will have a webinar on the day on the 25th March, and I hope you can join us, join me, and all the details I will leave it in the description box. So if the equinox, the beginning of the astrological year, with us setting intention of how and what we want to manifest this year, the lunar eclipse is helping us, together with the North Node and Chiron conjunct, not only healing our wound, by also closing a cycle for the previous year, especially the previous 6 months, since October last year in 2023. So by closing and evaluating the kind of new understanding of who we are and the kind of new relationships, new boundaries that we would like to establish from here onward, we close the cycle with the lunar eclipse on the 25th, preparing us for the new moon on the 8th of April. We have another major eclipse, the Aries solar eclipse. And already here we see in this 1 month of the Aries season is so packed with these two portals that signifies the end and the beginning from here onward. And so the Aries solar eclipse, it is such an important portal with all major planets concentrate on, with Pluto in Aquarius, with and also Mars, and then with Venus, Saturn, then Neptune in Pisces, and going up to Aries we have Mercury, we have Chiron, and we have North Node. And going up again in Taurus, we will also have the Jupiter and Uranus conjunct on the day of the 8th of April, together with the solar eclipse. So like all the planets are concentrated on one side of the chart. So if you have your natal chart with you, you can have a look which houses they are, and what are the major influence at this moment in your life that will have a long time effect. So if you can join me in the webinar, we certainly talk about this a little bit more. And so for this, we have talk about the Aries solar eclipse. I don't want to go into too much details. I think it deserves another video on purpose, together with the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction that will bring us something so unexpected. The famous saying of expect the unexpected is just so appropriate for this occasion. And there's so many aspects and planetary alignments that is just impossible to pack everything together. So I will talk about that the next week. And now I would like to bring us to a little bit details of Chiron. That we have talked about Chiron for a long time. It represents by a wounded healer, and with his story of being abandoned by both his parents, that is Deus and Inannin, with his particular body formation, being a Centaurus, but it's not really a normal Centaurus because of he has the whole full human body, and at the back with its horse body that make him half human and half horse without the agility of being a normal Centaurus. On the other hand, with his extraordinary healing capacities, that he is actually showing us the kind of wound, the kind of pain, the kind of suffering that we bring with us from other lifetimes. And in this lifetime, with this experience, how we are going to heal it. With North Node in Aries, so we are going to heal it with accepting who we are, understanding where we come from, and especially to release ourselves from our social background, from our social construct. We might be grow up thinking we desire and would like to manifest in certain way by with our career, our education system, with our love affair. And at the end of the day, many of us may find ourselves in a place that, is it really that what I am searching in this lifetime? And so in this, since July last year, when North Node ingress into Aries and the South Node in Libra, this interplay, interdance between the I am and we are as a collectives. And now that we are finally in these Aries seasons with these two major eclipses, it's like we are doing the final dance, final searching in understanding where we would like to go from here onward. And since North Node will stay here until the end of 2024, And after that, we will have one more major, I think it's lunar eclipse in Libra in October again. So all these eclipses between Libra, Aries, and Libra is like a flow that helping us going steadily and understanding with certain process, healing deeper and deeper, going higher and higher in finding exactly who we are, where we want to go, and what we would like to do in this lifetime. A very simple questions, but it takes so much courage from each of us answer it. That are we, after we find out, after we understand in a deeper level of our self-identity, and we understand the kind of direction, North Node, that we would like to work towards, then we should ask ourselves, do I have the courage to implement it? And it is not a coincidence that Chiron is staying his major transit in Aries since the February 2019 until 2026. It is a long time staying in just one sign, and you can see it in the diagram next to me, that how the kind of period that Chiron is staying in each sign. And I think this time is really giving us ample of time to deal with so much of our self-identity that we have been manipulated, we have been brainwashed to believe in certain ideas that has nothing to do with hope. And now with North Node, in this later half of the year until the end of 2024, we should have better idea of who we are. And as I said before, it's also a good opportunity to ask us, after we know that, with already our old world changing, falling away, falling apart, do I have the courage to keep on moving? And knowing somehow there's no going back. And not only because of the North Node and Chiron, also because of Pluto ingress into Aquarius since January this year. And Pluto will go back one last time from September and November to November, Capricorn again. It is as if a way to show us, go back there, see where you come from, see how far you come, so that when we arrive to the October lunar eclipse, we know better what we really want before North Node leaving Aries and going into Pisces next year, 2025. And to help us to understand better during this Aries season, what do we have? We have Mercury. Even though Mercury will go into his pre-shadow period of retrograde, and during the retrograde period in almost the whole period of Aries season. But still, Mercury is the messenger of God. And the fact that it is during his retrograde period, it means that we have to be a bit more careful, be more introspective, paying more attentions to synchronicities and messages that the universe is sending us. Is somehow, I think, it also toned down a little bit of this fiery essence of Aries, instead of just think and move, that think better, evaluate better before we make our move. And when Jupiter and Uranus make their conjunction from the 8th of April, the universe will tell us like, what is there in store. Well, so during this Aries season, I would say that be assertive, be determined, but also be thoughtful, to stay introspective of what's going through our mind and our heart, of our relationships, our boundaries. So I thank you for joining me, and I'm looking forward to see you again in my next video, when I will talk about the solar eclipse Aries and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So much fun. Thank you for joining me. Bye from my heart. Have the best.